What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jeffo coming at you with another video, and I hope everyone is doing well. Everybody's been chasing their goals. Everybody's been doing everything they need to do. Everybody's been putting their hard work in. Now, I wanted to come here and talk to you guys about how to build a baseline with, I would say, the majority of things that you do. So recently I've been talking about how I'm trying to, get into the military, and the process I've been speaking of, taking the ASVAB, which is a test that you need to take, and, as well as being in school and taking multiple exams at one time, and, having to score well or in the higher percentile of the class to be successful and stuff like that, right? And basically you have to find a method. You have to find a systematic way to improve yourself and be able to analyze that to see if it's working, what needs to be improved, and basically that. And I'm gonna give you an example because I use this with my schooling as well, but I've been really using this with running. Now, I've been training with a couple of recruits and the recruiter. We've been doing running, we've been doing push-ups, we've been doing pull-ups and such. And we got to meet a minimum number for each of those tasks, right? So for pull-ups, I believe it's something easy. It's not that hard. It's like 5. But if you haven't been doing pull-ups, then the 5 might be a little hard for you. Push-ups and sit-ups, I believe it's like 30. And then you have to run 1.5 miles in under 12 minutes. Now, 3 of those things I'm able to accomplish. The pull-ups was a little bit difficult because I wasn't used to doing a lot of pull-ups. Doing pull-ups weren't really on my list. But I think I had a good baseline in strength to where I could just will my way to that. But I got to work on the form. So pull-ups wasn't really my biggest problem. Push-ups and sit-ups, it's pretty easy for me because I've been doing that since I was little. I remember when I was younger, I just would do pull-ups and push-ups all the time because that was only the workouts that I could do. I didn't have anything else. So pull-ups and sit-ups, ain't really 30 for me, really isn't that bad. What is kind of kicking my butt is running, because running is something that if you don't use it, you'll lose it quick. There was a point in time where I used to run a lot, and my baseline was extremely high. I was able to finish like a mile in like 7 minutes. That was like the fastest I've ever done it, and it took some time to get there, but I did get there. But then I took a break. Life, whatever have it. I'm not gonna make no excuses, but I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, and I gained weight, lost my conditioning, lost that baseline, my mechanics and such, and I wouldn't say struggle to run, but I can't keep up with that pace that I used to have, or meet the 12-minute. I think I finished the 1.5 miles at like 14 minutes. So not too bad, but I did feel like if I kept training, I would have been able to, meet them standards probably easily. Okay, so boom. What do I do now? How do I fix this? So with running, beforehand, I would just, go to the park. This is how I actually built my baseline in the beginning, and it took a while to get this actual baseline. I would just wake up every single day, and I would just run, and then I would be losing weight in the process. And every probably week, I would be gaining more and more speed, and then that's how I would, gain my speed. That's how I would lose my weight. That's how I get my confidence. That's how I build my baseline. Now that way works, but it's very, very slow, and I don't think that method for me really was the best after trying, different, some other methods, right? Now, talking about the method that I use now. This method I use for everything. I use for running, I use for strength, I use for school, I use for, basically anything in life. And I like to call it intermediate sprints. And though I am talking about running, I do this with everything else. So I'm going to explain to you what this is. For me to gain speed, for me to gain my conditioning, for me to gain my baseline, I have to be able to run my I have to be able to analyze what my top speed is, right? Consistently. So I have to perform at the highest level consistently. Now, when you're beginning, it's kind of hard because you can't maintain that for a long period of time, right? And that was my problem. I would try to run my top speed at the whole time. And what that ends up doing is it burns you out, because if you're running your top speed, you're using all your energy. For you to run your top speed again, you have to rest for longer periods of time. And this is because your baseline is pretty low. Now, if you are trying to build your baseline and you're trying to build your speed, you need to do intermediate top ends, meaning you need to be able to do your top end for a short period of time, recover, and be able to do it again, recover, again, recover, again, recover. And what this does is it builds your baseline. Your baseline starts building, right? So you used to, I apologize about the chalk. It's about, you need to build your baseline. So the way you do this is you run your top speed for about, I say 15, 20 seconds, and you rest. And you keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again. So for me, I've been doing this for a mile. So I'll run 10 seconds until I reach the mile. So I'll run, 10 seconds of full speed, stop it, and then go hit something else, like a strength workout for like a minute. Or I'll use my rebounder, which is like this trampoline that I have, just to make sure, like, my body is used to performing while it's tired. And what I've noticed is that I'm able to recover quicker. I'm able to go back and hit my top end speed quicker. And not only am I able to hit it quicker, like the fatigue that I feel in that moment is starting to lessen and lessen. So I'm then building a baseline, right? So what that 10 seconds used to kill me in the beginning no longer does that. So now I can actually go like 15 seconds and that's how I feel. That's how the tired that I feel at the 15 seconds is the tired I felt in the beginning at the 10 seconds, right? And then you keep doing that and keep doing that, keep doing that, and keep doing that, and eventually your baseline is growing. Now, strategically, how do you use this with the miles and being able to do this in the runs? Now, when you're doing the run, yes, you've built your baseline, but you don't want to run that baseline, that you don't want to run that top end speed the whole entire time. What you want to do is pick a good pace and intermediate in a I don't know why I always have a problem saying that word. Intermediately pick your battles, pick your time of when you want to attack that run and then go back into your baseline. And that's how you gain your speed. It's like short bursts that's going to make you stronger, it's going to make you faster, and it's going to make you even more conditioned and more confident in yourself because you're starting to see the progress. And you can do this with basically everything, right? So with studying, I'm not going to even take too long on this one. With studying this, I do the same thing. I study, I take a little short break, I study, I take a little short break, I study, I take a little short break, I study, I take a little short break. And I'm doing that with every subject. And with every subject, I'm getting more and more confidence because I'm getting used to seeing those questions. I'm getting used to that process of stopping and starting, 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 stopping and starting within that same period, right? And what's going to end up happening is, okay, I'm able to go longer because I'm used to sitting at my desk. I'm used to clicking my mouse. I'm used to looking at these problems. I'm used to figuring things out. My mind is getting used. So you're doing the same conditioning that you are with your heart and your legs and your body with your mind. So it's the same thing, but in a different context, right? And it's been working, bro. Like, it's been working. Like, I'm down 3 pounds in a week, which is good. You know, sometimes it might be a little, might be water weight, might be, some other things. But what I am seeing is progress in, my physique. I am seeing progress in my conditioning, and I am seeing progress in my confidence in my baseline and stuff, right? So it is working. Now, sometimes you might have to adjust in what you need to do, but I feel like that method is able to work with everything that you need to do.